Finding clean data sets for Power BI practice can be a hassle. What if I told you you can use AI to get a sample data set in an instant? My name is Emily Taylor. I am a Power BI trainer here at Pragmatic Works. And we use sample data sets all of the time to produce demonstrations so that we can teach our customers how to use Power BI. But there are the tried and true ways to go searching for data sets, such as Kaggle.com, data.gov, and all sorts of other websites that you can find on the internet. Those take time, though. You have to take time to search the data set, make sure it matches your needs, and a lot of times, the data set's not ultimately going to even match the industry that you're working in. I'm here to show you how to use AI to prompt it and create a data set that's going to work for you. That way you can spend more time practicing Power BI instead of searching for a data set. I have a Copilot in Microsoft 365 account. So the AI platform I will be using is Copilot. However, if you click the link to download my prompt, you should be able to put that prompt in any AI platform and it's going to generate that Excel file for you, especially if you have an account with that platform. So without further ado, let's head on into my computer so we can check it out. I'm going to go ahead and paste in my prompt into Copilot. Before I hit submit, I just want to walk through a couple of tips and tricks to make sure you get the data set that you're looking for. The data set that I've included here involves a pet adoption agency. It's got some pet shelters, and we have some information related to the adoption transaction. We have information about the breed of pet as well as the adoptee information. So if you're looking for a data set that is different than that, feel free to take the time to replace the different tables that I've included with the tables that you will want to match your industry. I highly recommend when you are creating a data set like this, you request column names specific to what you expect to see and you want to analyze your data by. I suggest you request a specific file type. In my instance, I'm going to go with an Excel file because it's nice for me to be able to open up in Excel and see all of the different tabs across the bottom and use that workbook to connect in Power BI. I also think you should take the time to think about the amount of rows that you want within your data set. You don't want an extensive amount of rows because a lot of data takes a lot of time to load into Power BI. But a lot of times if you don't put a row parameter in there, I've found my AI platform will take my request and only give me about 5 rows per table. In order to really analyze data in Power BI, you want a variety of data, and having more rows is going to benefit you so that you can analyze a little bit further. As you can see, I requested the years 2023 to 2025 so that I had a little bit of data to go through timeline data. You also want to make sure that you have somewhat realistic information, especially if you're going to use this to create a Power BI report to show your knowledge or potentially even put into a portfolio. I'm going to go ahead and click send to allow Copilot a little bit of time to think. And while we're waiting, I want to go ahead and talk about the importance of setting up a good data model so that you can build a solid report in Power BI. Power BI prefers a normalized data model with one fact table that is evaluating some sort of transaction or event and multiple dimensions coming off of it. If you're not sure what that means or you have questions about how to set up a data model like that, I'm going to encourage you to check out our beginner Power BI course in our on-demand learning platform. It is newly re-recorded and Allison does a phenomenal job walking you through all of the things that you need to know about data modeling, about writing DAX, and the fun part about Power BI, about all of the visualizations that you can create with your data. All right, it looks like Copilot's ready for us. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down, grab my Excel file, open it up in Excel just so we can see what that file looks like. It gave us exactly what we were looking for. We've got our transaction table, which is going to be our main facts table in the middle with some adoption dates. We have our pet type, we have our shelter information, we have our date dimension that's going to give us all of our dates from the year 2023 and on. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'll keep it in my download folder because that'll be easier for me to connect to, but feel free to save that in any folder on your computer so that you can connect to it easily. We're going to go ahead and open up Power BI. We will be connecting using an Excel workbook. So I'm going to go ahead and click that button, bring in my downloaded data, open it up, select the tables that you want to use in your data model. I'm going to go ahead and grab all of these tables. I'm going to leave off my campaign dimension and my feeding schedule because I don't think I plan to include those in my report this time around. I'll click transform just to make sure all of my data types are correct and my column structure matches the way that I would expect. I've got my adoption transactions. I'm going to swap my date to an actual date so that it will work with my date table. Go on over to my date table just to make sure everything looks right. Change that to a date as well. I am going to close and apply. Give it a little bit of time to load, and this data is in Power BI ready for us to use. Now, we're going to go ahead and double check to make sure everything looks great by going on over to Model View, making sure we've got our dimensions connected the way that they should be so that we have a star schema model. My date table wasn't connected, so I'm just connecting my date columns right here with that beautiful one-to-many relationship. I'll go ahead and click Save. Now that we've got our data model set up, we can head on over to Report View and build visualizations with our tables. You also can use this Measures button to create measures and write measures with DAX. I'm going to go ahead and build a bar chart so that we can look at our adoptions based off of shelter location. Put our location into the y-axis, put our count of adoption ID in the x-axis, and now we can easily compare the adoptions based off of the different locations of our shelters. We can use things like line charts to compare our dates by adoptions. Now, there are all sorts of extra visuals that you can build with this data set. If you want to learn more about how to convert this into this, I highly recommend you check out that beginner course so that you can learn all things related to Power BI. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel where we have all sorts of content regarding Copilot, Power BI, and so much more. Thank you for learning with us. I'll see you next time.